we're now going to the mitzvah number 2, the Bris Milah. This video should be a schus for my Rebbe, Rav Simcha Leib Yosef Gad Ezra Ben Shenachana, and for Dvora Bas Sheva Bas Chana, and that they should be able to have strength, health, and feel the ability to use every mitzvah to get close to Hashem, as that's the way they have told me and all the Talmidim to get close to Hashem through the Torah and the mitzvahs. And it should be a zchut for Klal Yisrael and the Shechina that we should be able to become one with Hashem very, very soon. So, Bris Milah, we had just talking about the fact that there's a mitzvah of Puruvu, right? And as my Rebbe had pointed out, obviously Puruvu involves Bris Milah. One of the things that my Rebbe taught is that every mitzvah really is connected. It's like 613 concepts connected, and therefore there's a reason in the order of the mitzvahs why they appear when they appear. And if one is very knowledgeable, he can see what the link is between. It's like a build-up, like building a building. Now, I'm not sure if I'll be able to connect all of them. We'll see with Hashem's help. But as for now, it is very clear of the connection, because you cannot do Puruvu, or the automatic thing that we need to know Puruvu is it can only be done through sexual interaction, which involves the Bris Milah. So God is saying, you have a tremendous blessing, you have tremendous potential, but if you want to be able to be successful in this blessing, in this world, in a world after the Chet of Adam Rishon, where it is very easy to be Zera Levatara, meaning it's very easy to waste potential, because, and by the way, that was one of the reasons why the lives of men had reduced from 1,000 years, right? And then people used to live much longer, over 1,000 years, because that what enables you to do a huge mission. So life was reduced to a shorter time, so that people will be not waste time, not be Zera Levatala on a time level, spiritual level, and be able to focus their energy in the right direction and build up their soul, build up their life. So what is he saying? What's the circumcision? Why is it done at that very strange place, the place that we're marrying God? Because basically, obviously, I'm giving an example. Some people don't like that example because it's really kaviachol. It's just an image, and we're not used to think like that. In Kabbalah, it's spoken a lot about it, but the idea is that we kind of saying we are God's spouse, right? And we are able to build a world with God, right? These three partners, man, woman, and God. So Puruvu, right? It's a combination of the three, and the circumcision after the sin of Adam Rishon is saying that we have to remember that we are building a world with my spouse and with God, and all three together, we are gonna be able to make a difference. So when I do a circumcision, what's the whole idea? The whole idea, I'm making a sign on the place that is the most, with the most potential, with the most energy, with the most desire, with the most pleasure. And when I'm saying that, I'm going to take all that energy, that potential, that desire, that drive that I have in me, and I'm going to direct it in a way that is in line with God, meaning I'm going to do it with God. I'm here to build a world with God, build a world with my spouse, my spiritual spouse, Hashem, and my physical spouse, my wife, although she's usually more spiritual than the man. So we understand that the idea is I'm reminded every day, especially as a man, that part of me that is very sensitive, that where my main drive comes from. As we know from the Gemara, even when people were doing Avodah Zarah, says the Gemara that it was in order to have a license, a free ticket to be able to have sexual experiences. Because if you don't follow God, obviously you have to follow whatever you want with another Avodah Zarah, and you'll be able to do whatever you want on a sexual level. So the idea is that we are making sure that our drive, our lives, whenever I'm going in the world, I want to do something, I have a desire to do something, I do it with Hashem in mind. I have a bris, I have a covenant. My whole drive in life is to build something with God, to build something with my wife, right? So it's that constant constant reality, something to remember in order to make this become the kavana, become the intention in everything we do.